concentration terms. In this class, we shall study about the solubility of solutes. So usually, if you take sodium chloride or sugar and if you try to dissolve it in water, it can be completely soluble. Further, if you take the solutes like naphthalene or anthracene and if you try to dissolve them in water, they cannot be dissolved. So let us know the meaning of solubility. Solubility is the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a given solvent at a given conditions. It is the maximum amount solute that can be dissolved in a given solvent. Given conditions or normal conditions. So in this solubility, we shall first discuss the solubility of solid in liquids. So here, the solid is the solute and liquid will be your solvent. So solubility of solids in liquids, let us consider the solid as solute and solvent. So that will be your liquid. So liquids are solvents here. That means that this is solute that will be dissolved or that is soluble in a given solvent. First I will consider salt or sugar, that is NaCl or sugar in water. So first I will mix this in water. This is salt or sugar that completely dissolves. Now I will consider the same salt and sugar and I will mix this or I will try to dissolve this in benzene. Now this salt or sugar that will not dissolve in this benzene. It will not dissolve or it is not soluble. Now I will take another solutes, that is naphthalene or anthracene. And I will try to dissolve this with water. Now this naphthalene will not be dissolved. It will not be dissolved in water. Whereas if I consider this naphthalene and if I try to dissolve this in benzene, now this naphthalene will completely dissolve in given benzene solution. Now, it is the maximum amount. Now, you cannot consider 1 kg of solute in 1 liter of solvent. So, here you can consider little quantities, so that can be dissolved in a given solvent. Now, first let us consider this condition. If you consider salt or sugar, that will dissolve in water, whereas if you consider in naphthalene, so that will not dissolve in water, whereas in other condition, salt or sugar that will be dissolved in benzene, so that will not be dissolved in benzene, whereas naphthalene can be dissolved in benzene. So it means that if the intermolecular particles are having similar properties, then those solutes can be easily dissolved in given solvent. So it is mainly dependent on, so the solubility of solutes in liquids is mainly dependent on intermolecular particles. If they are having similar intermolecular properties, then it can be dissolved. It can easily said that like dissolves like. That means that here water is a polar solute, so polar solvent, and salt and sugar, they are polar solutes. So polar solutes they can be dissolved in polar solvents. Whereas non-polar solutes they can be dissolved in non-polar solvents. That means that these polar solutes and polar solvents will have a similar intermolecular particles, hence they will be dissolved, whereas non-polar solutes, they will be having similar intermolecular properties as non-polar solvents. So therefore, like dissolves like. So this is about the nature of solute and solvent. So usually this solubility, it mainly depends upon the 4 factors. The first 2 factors I have explained here, that is factors, nature of solute, that means that like dissolves like. If it is a polar solute, it will be dissolved in polar solvent. Nature of solvent. The third one is temperature. Fourth one is pressure. So these are the 4 parameters which influences the solubility of solid in liquid. Now let us consider 2 beakers here, and I have taken a liquid as solvent here. Now in this beaker I am going to add a solute particles, and these solid particles are completely soluble. If they are soluble, then that process is called as dissolution. And in another case, the solute particles, they will collide with one another. So they will be having motion and they will collide with one another, and they form crystals, and so they will be coming out of this dissolved solution. So that process is called as recrystallization. So a stage is reached where this dissolution will have an equilibrium with the crystallization. Under such conditions, the amount of solute that is dissolved will be equal to the amount of solute that will be coming out or not dissolved. So, in this process, the amount of solute dissolved will be a constant one. So, this is a solvent, that is water I have considered, and here is a solute, that is sodium chloride. Now, so this solute, if I consider this in a solvent, so that will be dissolved. Now if I shake it thoroughly, so this will dissolve. That means that solubility of NaCl in water. Now this process is called as dissolution. Now if I add further solute, if I add excess amount of solute, now you can see the solute particles, so that they are not soluble. I hope you can see clearly. Oh. So this type of solution in which no more solute cannot be dissolved are called as saturated solutions, and unsaturated solutions are one in which solute can be completely soluble. So this is an example for saturated solution. So here the complete solute particles are not completely soluble, so they are called as saturated solutions. A solution in which no more solute can be dissolved in a given solvent under normal conditions is called as saturated solution. So here I have taken that sodium chloride solute that cannot be dissolved in a given solvent under normal conditions. If you give the temperature or pressure, it can be dissolved. So under normal conditions, you cannot make that solid particles to be soluble completely. So they are called as saturated solutions. The third property or third factor, that is the temperature. So if you give the temperature to a solution, and if you try to dissolve this by giving the temperature, then it might occur in two conditions. So this may absorb the heat energy or it may give out the heat energy. So I will take one more. Suppose if it absorbs the heat energy, then this is called as endothermic reaction. In endothermic reaction, since heat is more, or since it absorbs the heat energy, the solubility also increases. So here in endothermic reactions, solubility increases due to the rise in temperature. So here the delta H of solution, enthalpy of solution, should be greater than 0 in endothermic reactions. So here solubility increases due to the absorption of heat energy. Whereas in this condition, if it evolves the heat energy, then it is called as exothermic reaction. So it is an exothermic reaction since it has given out heat energy, the solubility decreases. And delta H, that is enthalpy of solution, should be less than 0. So if you give the temperature, the solubility increases. The temperature is lesser. If you take out the temperature, then solubility decreases. So the fourth factor, that is the effect of pressure. So in the solubility of solids in liquids, the effect of pressure is highly negligible because both solids as well as liquids are highly incompressible. Thank you.